Good morning.
Hi, everyone.
We are live. I'm Shauna. This is
I'm
Joelle.
Joelle.
We are your awkward channelers today.
Very awkward.
And um, we had talked after last week's show, and I don't know what we were talking about. It had to do with healing.
Yeah.
And we thought that we could talk about energy healing and some experiences, but neither of us can remember exactly what it was we were talking about. So here we
It makes
are.
me wonder if that's what we were supposed to talk about or not, if they won't let us remember.
I think that maybe we need to go a little more general, and I think we should talk about energy healing. We can talk about our experiences, and I'd be more than happy to call in my alchemist guide and offer some healing, clearing, whatever it is she wants
I'm
to do. I
always
feel like she's here
love
because
your
I'm
healings. Your healing's amazing.
right, right. So, um, yeah. So we both offer energy healing.
Yeah.
Yours is mainly rooted in Reiki
Yeah.
and what you come in with naturally, because we all have something.
Right.
You wanna talk a little bit about that?
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna put her on the spot. Okay, I'll go first. Anyhow, I
My
have
brain is fried, y'all. I'm sorry. I got stung in the face by a wasp the other day, so I am not.
she she did. So
But
if you
that's how
guys
great Shauna's
send her
healing
some love.
is, though, because I'm not a cyclops.
I can't believe how good it is,
I
honestly.
know.
Like, it looks like I
Uh,
can't I can't see it, but of course my eyes,
yeah.
Anyway,
The
anyhow,
this morning, the only way I could really tell is like, "Ooh, I don't have them fine lines right there because it's swollen up." I'm like, I don't recommend wasp stings to get rid of wrinkles, but
right? I'm always like, "Oh, I love when my inflammation is up." Anyhow, hey, Christine, good morning.
good
Thank you for
morning, Christine.
coming. So anyhow,
Yeah,
I've been running energy before I had any idea what I was doing, right? My guides immediately sent me into sharing energy. The first way they had me making jewelry. I was like, I can't create jewelry. I don't know how to. They're like, just get some beads and string some bracelets. You'll be good. So I did, and they had me hold it and channel in their angelic healing energy is what they've always made me call it, into these bracelets. Um, and I would sell them or give them away. For a long time I gave them away, and then I sold a few.
yeah,
But also, they had me going to like a local psychic fair and being the one who for free cleared everybody's energy,
yeah.
which again, I didn't really know what I was doing. They just assured me you can't hurt anyone, it's going to help, this is
Mhm.
what we need, we want your energy out there. And I was like, all right, I don't know what this means. Fast forward to, I don't know how many years it's been. Gosh, it's been so long. 10 years since I did that. And now I have linked into a couple different modalities. I finally got Reiki certified. They were like, nope, nope, no certifications. You don't need it. I'm like, oh Lord.
Right.
So it took a long while for me to get to the point where I actually did was free to take Reiki and Rachel's elemental healing. I did that as well this year. Plus, I've been connected to some galactic healing. Starlight Healing came in for me. And now I have finally met and fully connected with my alchemist guide who helps us heal, right? So Shay. So
Yeah.
she'll make an appearance at some point today. But that's kind of been, my history. We can do so much with
Right.
the energy healing. Like it's kind of crazy. I've had people have physical ailments go away. I have been
Mhm.
able to relieve pain. Um, from minor injuries, things like that. And I know other people, and I don't know if you've had that experience, but
Yeah.
we were talking about psychic surgery, where
Right.
we can actually help to transmute out tumors or different things that is in your path. Of course, if it's not in your
Yeah.
path, I don't have to let you, but you know,
Oh, it's amazing all the things you
it's like
can do,
started.
and like me going in. I had always had people tell me, when I put my hands on them that, oh, you have this calming energy. I love being around you. And I'm like, inside, I'm like,
Hot
squirrels and freaking traffic. I'm like, I don't get it, but okay.
yeah,
And then when I
yeah.
finally got to the Reiki, I still didn't really believe I could do the things I do. And my son hurt his back one day and he thought it was BS too. And I'm like, jump up on my table, let me work on you. And I got done and he's like, holy crap, mama, that was amazing. And then my brother-in-law up in West Virginia broke his leg, and big biker dude, he doesn't believe in any of this at all. And I'm
Right.
like, just let me work on you, dude. I want you to be my guinea pig for the distance Reiki because I had never done it before.
Yeah.
And the next morning, he's like, I got finished, texted him, hey, I'm done. He's like, I'll text you later. I need to process this. And I'm like, what the fuck
Oh,
is going on? I'm like, oh my God, The next morning, I got the longest text from him. He was like, I still don't know what happened, but it was the most amazing thing I have ever experienced in my life. He
I
said, I
believe it.
released so much. He said, the pain is not gone, but it's not anywhere near what it was. And I'm like, oh, well, damn, I can do this, and
Oh, yeah, your healing, it
yeah.
is so powerful. I absolutely love when you help me
Oh,
because it really is powerful, and it
yeah.
really does just whip right into where it needs to be, and it is calming,
Yeah.
and I hear that too. It's so funny because
Yeah.
I grew up moody and depressed and
Right.
being called a B word all the time by my family, right?
Right.
Because I was just horrible, right? And people are like, "Oh, I just love your calming energy. I could just sit here all day." And I'm like, "That's just nuts right now to me."
Right.
Like, I get it because I'm not that person anymore. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's so weird to go through an entire lifetime of
Of
feeling like you were something that you really weren't,
right.
and then have people validate that you really aren't. It's so
Yeah.
strange. I don't know if that was even valid to say, but anyway, came up in
Oh,
my
no,
thought.
no, I totally get it. And it's like, like a guy I used to date, he was like, I love being around you because I know everything's gonna be okay. And I'm like, well, that's
Mm.
nice because I sure as hell don't,
You're like, "I don't feel that
It's
way."
I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm glad you do. And, going, like you said, learning, going,
yeah,
looking back, it's like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay. And then,
Yeah. You
the
had no
kids
idea
with the
that
rep
we were
last year with
yeah, well,
Hazel's
we're
brain bleed.
right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, as
And
soon as
we
I heard their mom scream on the phone that Hazel had been airlifted, I didn't even think. I
oh,
mean, it just started flowing, sending
yeah,
Reiki and light. Thank
yeah.
God I took the light language class with Rachel. I know she says you have to hear it, but I don't know because it just started flowing that day. And
I will say that I have found that that doesn't seem to be necessary,
yeah,
um, in every
I
case,
do it
and
a
maybe in
lot.
some cases it is. I'm not gonna say she's
Yeah.
wrong,
Oh,
but
no, indeed.
I
But
absolutely have been able to do, energy sessions using the light language from a
yeah.
distance, and it been more beneficial than some of my past sessions
Oh,
have
yeah.
been. So
Because
I
it's
think
like,
that in some way it still gets to them.
yeah, because we're in the car, and I'm not
Mhm.
sending Reiki, I'm just doing light language, the entire time until we got to the hospital, and it was like and you were the one that told me I did stop it because 'cause I'm like, "No, I
Oh,
didn't."
yeah.
Like, "Yeah, you
Oh,
did."
no.
"No,
Yeah.
I did."
Yeah, you did.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
you did.
it's
Joelle has quite the, confidence issue,
yeah,
and believing that and well, we all
yeah,
do. And I think that's one of our best qualities
yeah,
is the humbleness that we require. Like, we're just like, "I anybody can do this." I'm
yeah.
always like, "Anybody can do it if they
Oh,
just
yeah.
figure it out," right? If you just follow
Oh,
what you feel,
yeah.
it's just natural
And
because,
that's what I
I
tell
wasn't
people all
trained
the
in
time when
anything.
they're like, "Oh, that's BS." I'm like, "Really? What do you do when you hurt yourself?" "Oh, I don't know." I said, "Your
You
other
shake it
hand
off.
immediately goes to it, or me,
Right.
it's like your
You
hand go
shake it off,
a
you
kid
hold
gets
it,
hurt,
you
they
yeah,
want you to kiss it. I was
mama
like,
kisses
"That's
it.
what Reiki is."
Love
Like,
infusion.
yeah. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my
and
youngest was like that. She was like a kiss it and make it better kid. Like, she could be
yeah,
bleeding, and if I just kissed close to it, she'd be like, "Okay, I'll go. I'm fine."
yeah.
The other one, we were shaking things off,
Oh,
but
right.
crazy. That was kind of our thing, and it must
Yeah,
have come from my family or whatever,
yeah,
where somebody got her, "Oh, shake it. Whatever it is, shake it. Your whole body, just shake." It's so funny, and it worked.
yeah. It's like, whatever. And
Yeah.
I love that. And even kids. like Hazel.
Mm. Oh yeah, Hazel.
She is so powerful because she was attuned to Reiki, and oh
I
my
cannot
god,
wait.
I
I so
love it
want to
when
attune
that kid.
Wesley.
But she loves doing it, but she is so powerful, and she's like, "My hands are, like,
Yeah.
tingling on you, like, they're burning." I'm like, "It's okay, it's just the energy," and she doesn't like it, so she'll quit, but my
It can be kinda scary.
yeah.
I can
Oh,
imagine
yeah. That's
her
why I
like,
don't
she's
force her
6?
to do it, but it's like,
Yeah.
"Holy crap, you're 6," and it's like, "Wow."
So powerful.
Very.
Yeah. And I really, really can't wait. I can't attune because I am only 2, but I can't
Yeah.
wait to get Wesley attuned, and I wanna attune him to the light language.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think that would be a good thing.
oh, yeah.
They keep telling me, "Not yet, not yet."
Right.
I'm like, "Alright, fine."
Yeah.
So funny. Uh, but we had
Yeah.
I've had you mentioned, your, the leg that now I can't remember who it was. Anyhow,
Yeah, my
I've had
brother-in-law.
instances like that too, where, like, people who really didn't totally believe,
Yeah.
um, like my friend Carl, I was at his house one day, and he was like, "I was out in the backyard, I hurt my shoulder again," and I had never really done much hands-on with people. Most
Yeah.
everything I did was kind of distant, and I just looked at him and said, "You know I can fix that, right?" And he goes, "I know." And I said, "Are you gonna let me?" And he goes, "I guess." And it instantly was healed. He was like
Right.
he's like, "Oh, it'll hurt tomorrow." It did not. It never
Right.
came back. It just fucking healed.
Yeah.
It was so funny, and it's like those moments. Do you get those moments where you're just like, "Oh, I need to do something for you,"
Oh,
and you
yeah.
just are bold with it, where normally you're not saying nothing to nobody,
It's
right?
as you were speaking, it's like I had totally forgot, like, last summer, my son's friend came over, and they had been on a camping trip in Arkansas.
Uh,
He cut his foot and got some kind of infection in it. I mean, they were gonna have to go in and do all kinds of
oh gosh.
surgeries, and him being diabetic, they're like, "You might lose your toe," and I'm like, "Give it here. Give it here." He's like, "What?" I said, "Give it here."
Give it here.
And
Can't
I
explain
just
it.
sat
Just let me
there
go at
while
it.
we were talking on a swing, giving he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm giving you Reiki, just chill," and he
Everything's fine.
texted me the next day, he's like, "I don't know what the hell you did." He's like, "But my foot," he's like, "It's nothing wrong with it." And I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of crazy, and it's in those moments where you really feel like you don't have anything to explain. You're just like, "Just give it to
Right,
me, let me handle it."
right,
Those are the moments where somebody's there saying, "Do this."
right.
And we're just following that push, like, we don't have a
Absolutely.
choice. And sometimes it's kind of awkward because there are times that you don't really know how that person's gonna react, but it's
Right.
happening and you're like, "I gotta do it."
Yeah,
Um, it's I've had several of those. A lot of what I've done healing wise has been distance. And
yeah.
I actually find distance to be more beneficial than an in-person session with
I
most people.
yeah. I feel that I think it's because 'cause I'm a little bit more comfortable
I think we're
with
both more
distance.
comfortable,
Yeah.
right? I think
Right, they
they're
can be
not
in
like,
their
"Oh
own
god, is she gonna
space,
touch
and
me? Like,
you're
what's
in
gonna
your
happen?"
own. Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They don't have those apprehensions of being in person,
Yeah.
um, and neither do we.
Right.
'Cause we all have our
I don't need to
self-judgments
wear
on the
pants,
same
I
part.
just put on a shirt. I'm good.
Right! I love Zoom. We may or
I know.
may not be in our pajamas right now,
Right?
like, you know, but it's so funny. But, I have had and I just wanna talk about this real quick because they keep repeating it in my head.
Yeah,
I have had a lot of experiences in removing entity,
yeah,
in, transmuting entity. It's not removing it, it's really transmuting,
yeah.
and, uh most recently there was one that took place that really brought in this whole overall like reset of their energy system and like a new blueprint to their energy, and it
Wow.
was like massive. It was very interesting.
Yeah,
So this is some piece that I don't totally understand yet, but I have spent years um, under attack and learning to clear it
yeah,
and clearing from other people things that people don't realize are even affecting them.
yeah.
So I have that piece. I don't know how much of that you've done. Like, a lot of
I've
it has
done a
been very
little bit, but not a whole lot, it's
I yeah, and I've had a client that was literally came from a, family that, was satanic.
oh,
They
wow.
were, and she was trying to come to my house for energy, and, she couldn't get there
Oh, wow.
because the GPS kept she was really sick. All of a sudden, when she got in the car
Oh,
to go, she got
yeah.
super sick, and, she's like, "No, I'm getting there." And the GPS started switching, and, she couldn't get
That's
to my house. She
crazy.
had to call me on the phone, and I'm like, "Oh gosh, I didn't realize this would happen."
Yeah.
And this is the reason I wanna tell this is there's a reason at the end, but it took her 2 hours to go 45 minutes. It was like
Wow.
a 40-minute, 45-minute drive, and very easy drive,
Yeah.
but she couldn't get there. And I had to as soon as she called me, I just went into it and started just
Yeah.
really clearing. So one of the notes to make is that if you're going for a healing and you're happy about it the week before and you've scheduled it out, right?
Right.
And you get to the point or even a session of guidance with somebody like me, right,
Yeah.
who can do all of it. If you are feeling like I can't do this, you gotta really discern
Right.
that this might be something attached to keeping me from getting rid of it, which means you have something that's holding you back.
Yeah.
So if you ever have those moments, force yourself to the appointment. And if
Absolutely.
in the appointment you feel like it's not that it's the practitioner is the wrong person, then, shut it down.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's important for people to understand that there is a lot that can affect you
Right.
in getting places that will help you.
Yeah.
And I have always found that anyone who really had a hard time getting to me, it was because I had a way to really clear them and help them.
Yeah.
So that's something to remember for any energy session because you're clearing things too.
Yeah.
Like Reiki's gonna, transmute out
Yeah.
things that aren't necessary for them. Right. So that was a little, heavy, but
Oh, that was just kinda crazy though, but
it
yeah.
is a truth thing. Yeah. I mean, and it happens. And I've had other people who had a hard time. Like they schedule the appointment. They're like, I don't want to do this. And I'm like, why?
Right.
What's going on? What's happening? You wanted to do this a couple days ago.
Right.
And then I'll do a little clearing from distance and then boom, they'll show up at the appointment.
Get rid of it.
It's kind of funny. But energy healing is very interesting because there's so much, so little and so much you can
Yeah.
do depending on what they need. And my
Yeah.
goal with any appointment I've ever had is I want you to get what you need most,
Yeah.
right? So whatever it is, I don't know what's going to happen.
That's what I tell my people,
Oh,
I want you to fill out the form, but I have no clue what's gonna happen. I do what they tell me. I clear what they tell me. It's like once you're here, it's like we're gonna do what they say, and yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you know,
And
we
of
might get to
knowing,
what you want, we might not, but
yeah,
it's what you
sometimes it
need at the
helps.
time.
Yeah, and it helps a lot, fill out the forms. Give us all the information you can give
Right.
us because we're gonna use that to decipher, because there's always a certain window of time, right?
Right.
So you have to do so much in possibly a short, kind of a short period of time.
Yeah.
So, the more information you give someone, it's not that we aren't um able to read you properly or whatever, but it gives us like a focus. Sometimes people will come to an appointment. I have to pull cards because I'm like, there's so many directions we could go right now, and we only have so much
Yeah.
time. Like, what do you need the most? And sometimes cards will help. Like I use
Yeah.
oracle
Oh,
cards
yeah.
when I get like that. Like, what
I
direction
do
are we
too.
going? Yeah, it's really helpful.
Yeah. Cards are
Anyhow,
very helpful.
yeah, yeah.
And I find that the cards will even help them realize stuff that they have forgotten about,
Oh, for
and they
sure.
don't realize that it's affecting them, and they're like my one that's scheduled with you by accident, and
Oh,
she's like,
yeah.
"Oh my
So
god, I never thought of that," and it's like, "Oh, yeah,"
yeah,
cards are
yeah.
so helpful.
They really are. They really are. Very helpful,
Mhm.
honestly, especially if I'm looking for a direction,
Right,
yeah, in an appointment.
right.
Um, Again, just because there's always so many ways you can go and such I have this whole host of things that can happen in my guidance session, right? Like, we're clearing, we're healing, we're talking about, life, and we're moving out
Yeah,
stuck things, and I mean, it's crazy. So, you know, That's why we ask for information, because we do too many things at once. Anyhow, oh, we're getting close to the 30 minutes. So I wanted
I'm sorry.
to see if we could bring in my alchemist guide. And Shay is not her name, uh, but she's I could call her that because I cannot get her name. It seems to be like some complicated name. She's angelic, from what I understand. And anyway, anyhow, I thought we would bring her in and offer some kind of a healing. If hopefully that's interesting to the few that are here. But I I'll just ask her to kind of tell us what it is. But I think we're gonna do. I can feel already. I think we're gonna do a balancing, harmonizing, clearing.
Awesome.
I think
That's
is what we're
amazing.
looking for,
Yeah.
just to kind of get you seated right where you need to be right now and grounded in, and present within yourself, releasing anything that doesn't need to be present for you right now. Okay. Now this is, fully protected and even for replay,
Right.
we always set up appropriate energy before we get started. um, okay. So let me just see if I can work it. Stop talking, Shauna. I'm a talker.
I'm going to mute while you're doing it.
Okay. This may take a second. Oh. No, I am here. And I'm very happy to offer this healing. As you are describing, we will balance and harmonize, and we will clear. And it could be a whole host of things. So it's going to be met with each person with what they need most in this moment. So we shall get started. Hayana soya na siya tikitisia ya na na na. Siya kataya siya na siya. Ya na soto kotosh ya ya nea. Yayas kototoso ya ya na sai. We ask for balancing and harmonizing of the energy fields. We release from the energy field what no longer needs to be held, giving you a lighter, refreshed energy field, asking for healing of any holes in the auric fields, clearing all that could be cleared for you in this moment. Yanasaya katatoshiyaya nanasai. We pull in love, gratitude for your presence here. We bring that through the body. We expand that through the energy field. Inviting you to feel the love of the universe. The universe has much love for each being here. We ask for this to bring you clarity and increase connection to your guidance, as is appropriate for you. And we ground this energy into your being. Yayaskayana sututoshko. We wish you all the best. in every moment, in every decision that you make going forward. We hope that you will consider yourself. Yeah, naso, yakata. Thank you. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity to share this energy with you all.
Mm.
She's hard to let go of.
That was wonderful. Wow.
Excuse me.
I started releasing before she even started. Excuse me. Whew.
Yeah,
Very good.
she's pretty present right now.
Yeah. Ooh, excuse me. That was nice.
Definitely feel them working on me. I'm like, let's get Shauna leveled out too. Oh, well, hopefully that was
Good.
beneficial for others. I never know how that's going to reach you.
Yeah.
But again, if you're watching this and you don't want to receive it, you just don't open to it and you
Yeah.
won't. It'll be fine. But hopefully it's helpful.
Excuse me.
Oh, we're all gonna need a nap.
Right.
So one of the things that
Good.
I was thinking while she was doing that was the warning that you really need some extra fluids if you're going to accept any kind
Right.
of energy healing. So typically, if you're going to go to an appointment for energy healing, girlfriend, have a couple bottles of water before you get there.
Right.
And
Not a
afterwards,
daiquiri though.
no,
As my friend
water.
found out. Yes.
Water, no alcohol, no drugs. You got to
No.
keep it clean,
No.
because all of that interferes. Um,
Yeah.
also, so you don't want that, but you absolutely want water, something that isn't going to dehydrate you, right? Something that is not known to be dehydrating. I mean, there's a
Right.
lot of talk about coffee's not really dehydrating, so who knows? But extra fluids, and I always tell people, if you really have a full session, you need 3 days of extra fluids.
Right.
Because it's going to break
It's
things
still
loose in the
going.
energy system that you need to flush, because there are physical aspects that are affected
Yeah.
by our clearings and that when I do a real full clearing of something really not good for somebody, I always clear residual too,
Right.
but you still need to flush it. You still have to flush it.
And me, when I do Reiki, I'm like, keep it going for 2, 3 days. So when
Oh
we're done,
yeah.
it's still going.
Oh yeah, this will run for a period of time for
Yeah.
everybody. And anytime, truthfully, my understanding, what I believe anyway, is that when we do energy work on someone, it isn't instantaneous.
Right.
It comes in, it gets into
Yeah.
their energy field, it sets up the field. It does do some instantaneous things, but it will integrate with you and your
Right.
life and your body as you are ready. So
Yeah.
it will hang out around you. So much like the light language is giving us codes, those
Yeah.
codes may not come right into our being. They may hang around for a little while until it's the right moment.
Right.
And mostly, I don't want to overwhelm somebody with energy. Like I've done
Right.
that before. I have been overwhelmed and sick.
Yeah.
I've been sick I had some people work on me up in Oregon, and I was like really hesitant, and I really should just listen to myself.
Yeah.
They did more harm than good because they just weren't good people, but I just didn't realize it at the time.
Yeah.
But I was sick for 3 days. I mean,
Oh, wow.
sick for 3 days. It was really strange. And then, of course, I had to go have an energy session with somebody that was better to fix that. But
Right.
the experiences we have, and that on that note,
Whew.
if you are looking for energy healing, you need to feel drawn to the practitioner.
Absolutely.
You cannot just go willy-nilly to somebody. You really need to feel drawn. And if there is not a draw or a gosh, I just can't get that out of my mind, that
Any
you just
kind of
need
weird
to do that.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. Any odd feelings, trust it. Use your discernment. It's
Absolutely.
super important.
And good healers will not get upset if you say,
No.
"Hey, I'm not vibing," because I
Yeah.
know I don't. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. There's plenty of others that you will.
Mhm. For sure.
So
For
yeah,
sure. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many of us. There's so
right?
many that offer these kinds of things that,
Yeah,
are and we're all so different. Like, I just
right.
feel like we have our people, right? And
Absolutely. Yeah.
and
And
it's
I
sometimes
have
that
no
shows.
problem saying, I'm not good at that. Let me send you to Shauna. She's fantastic.
Right.
No
Yeah.
issue whatsoever. I
I
just,
absolutely do the same. I refer people
yeah,
to different people all the time because it's like, yeah, just I know somebody who really does specialize in exactly
right,
that. And although I may be able to get through it, I think you'll get a better benefit from someone else. I
right.
think that's an important piece of of our spirituality for us, I think,
Yeah,
is just that real authentic piece of nobody's perfect.
right.
Nobody's everything. I don't want to be. Like I love to help people and I want to help them as often as possible.
Yeah,
It frustrates me to get into these void periods where I really don't have many people to work with.
right,
But at the same time, I if I feel like it's not a fit, I'll tell somebody no.
right.
It's just how it is. I don't know. Should we pull a I know we're kind of at the end, but should we pull I feel like we should pull a card.
Okay.
Um, what do you think? Do you have
Wait,
any guidance on that?
who are we pulling for?
Just group?
Oh, okay. I can do that.
Do you have one?
Oh, let me see.
I've got 25 here, but none of them are yelling at me right now. So I'm like, maybe it's Joelle that has one since I did the healing. I
Uh,
don't
ooh,
know. Excuse me.
oh, okay. Actually, one of my guides came out.
Oh,
I
Vanessa.
found Archangel Christine. She
Ah,
actually came through in one of Rachel's monthly classes to meet
yeah,
one of your angel guides. And
yeah.
she came through and she told me that she's the one that helps me with my claircognizance. Whenever a thought pops in, that's her. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. Let me,
Well, let's see what she has to say. Christine
what
likes
does
it.
the card say? Oh, I think she's going to help us with bringing in some more Christ light because that's what she does.
Yeah.
Yes, I am here to help with bringing in more of the Christ light and to help with seeing things from a more loving perspective, to help release the judgment that you may have for certain situations.
Mm.
And all you need to do is call me in when you need or feel you need more of the Christ light. Ikinapaki asi ananataki ananataki pai asatataki ananatataki. Oh, nasake atate amayatataki asake atate amananatataki. Oh, mayatataki asamayatake ananataki asi ananatake. Oh, mayatataki atate amayatake asi ananatake. Oh, mayatate asi ananatate ananataki. Open your heart more to receive because the Christ light is all around you. Usiki pakayata te ananataki ananataki ati ananataki. Umayata kayasi ananataki apakayasi ananataki. Unanataki atate amayata kayata te asi ananataki. Nataki yatsate ananataki payasiki. Natake ananataki yatsaki yatate. Mayasiki ananataki ani ananataki yatsi ananataki. Manataki yatate yatate asikai anate. Mayataki yatsaki yatate. Mayasaki yatate ananataki yatate yatate yatate.
That was beautiful.
It's kind of cool.
I just relaxed right into that. I was like,
Right.
oh yeah, that
It's
right
just
in
I
where I
kept
was
seeing like
like,
little strips of gold going through. That was kind of I like
beautiful.
her
Thank
energy.
you.
That's kind of cool. Okay.
Yeah, that was fun.
Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to bring anybody through, but thank you, Angel Christine.
Yeah, no, I had a feeling you were.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like when I was like sicker than I still am.
Right.
You know, and I was like, I don't know if I'm channeling anything today.
Right. Yeah. And I
Right? Yeah.
haven't done anything the past 2 days. I've just been total yeah.
Well, I will say I think that's part of your message with the sting in the face.
Right.
Relax.
I know. I did. I didn't do it.
Yay.
Oh, yay.
He needed that. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yay.
Yeah, the Christ light, you know, I don't know. I just always immediately feel that always in my heart. You know, it's just
Yeah.
always before you even said that, it was just like hitting there. And I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's so nice. You know, it
It
just
is.
really does hit that way.
It
So,
does.
so
Excuse
yay.
me. Ooh.
Well, I guess we are at the end. It is a
Yeah.
little after 11. So we want to say thank you and we
Oh,
appreciate,
definitely. Thank
you know,
y'all.
each of you being here
Absolutely.
with us for our crazy
Maybe
awkwardness.
next year. Next year. Good Lord. Next week I'll be more on top of things.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's the one fun thing about this is
Yeah.
when one of us is off, the other one just kind of can take
Yeah.
the brunt of it so that you know we're the
Absolutely.
ones using the energy and not the one who's trying to heal from something. So you did the same for me when I was not well. You
Yeah.
know, we work well together in that way. So I
Absolutely.
appreciate you for that as well. And anyhow, thank you for being here. We every
Thank y'all.
Tuesday, you know, every Tuesday we're here doing something. If you all have ideas, please feel free to message or comment or something
Yeah.
of something that you might like to hear about or experience. You know, there's a whole host of things that could happen here. So
Right.
we're
We're
completely
open to
open.
any suggestions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We aren't the best at coming up with ideas. And our guides are so funny because they're like, no, just
Right.
get on there and do what you do. And we're like, come on.
And like today, they made us forget what we had talked about last week. Neither one of us could remember.
Yeah. Yeah. So it happens. So, you know,
Right.
any ideas, what have you, totally open, super happy to hear from you. Um, and you know, all of our contact information and our sites and stuff
Right.
are all, you know, listed in the details here. But again, thank
Yeah.
you. And
Thank you,
we shall
everyone.
see you
Next
next week.
week. Not next year, next week.